What's up, y'all boys? Welcome back to the Walk Podcast. I know it's been a cool little minute since I've been on camera, recorded anything, posted anything. It's been like almost a year, if not a year. Usually I'll be like, oh, I'm going to post something. I'm going to give y'all more content, da-da-da-da. I'm not even going to say all of that because I really don't know how it's going to go. But I do know today I wanted to talk about something that was near and dear to me. I feel like most of the stuff that I've been releasing before wasn't really that intimate, you know, like letting y'all into like a little bit of who I am without letting y'all know too much. But this topic is very important to me. I want to talk about how I really started my relationship with God and what led me to that, what drove that in a sense, not entirely, but partially. Unless you know me, you wouldn't know this, but in 2017, I lost my mom, and that was very life-altering. That was a very life-altering event, naturally. And I first started my relationship with the Lord when I was 16, and shortly after that, in 2017, I lost my mom. And that was something that was very, very tough, but also a very beautiful thing that happened in my life. If I'm honest, I appreciate God for that loss. Back then, I didn't think that that was something that I would be sitting here saying right now, but I'm very grateful that I lost her because I gained him. And as I talk more, you'll understand what I mean by that if you don't already. But all the noise. Like I said, I lost my mom in 2017 when I was 17 years old, and it was tough. It was really tough. She was beautiful. Very, very beautiful woman. Very beautiful child of God. A real believer, a true believer. My mom is one of the main reasons why I know who Jesus is. She never forced a relationship, never forced religion, but I always saw exactly who Jesus was through her. She was the type of person that would give you the shirt off her back. She would do anything for anybody. Heart of gold, literally, heart of gold. She had some things happen in her life that led her to Jesus that I witnessed. And during that time of witnessing her transition and go through, I didn't know who Jesus was. And it's just funny how the Lord works because later on in my life, he used those same things that happened with her to remind me of exactly who he is and who he's always been. And I really appreciate it. I remember when I first started my relationship, I just kind of went back to the things that I've always known. You know, the word says, train up a child the way that they should go, and when they're older, they won't depart from it. And I remember being like 7, 8 years old, and whew, y'all, I just ran up them stairs. I'm a little tired. I thought I was in shape. I guess not. I've been in this relationship with the Lord for like about 8 years, 8, 9 years, and it's been a roller coaster. I remember when the Lord told me to start the Walk podcast, and I was in my head about it. I was making it about me. I was doing everything but the right thing, doing everything but what I needed to do, which is trust him. And over time, that's another reason why I haven't been recording and posting for real, because I've been in my head. But over time, the Lord has shown me that the thing that he called me to do, he will equip me to do. And one of my favorite things about God is he shows you. He doesn't just tell you, but he will show you. He's a man of action, and that's real. He's real. But yeah, back to what I was saying. I told myself the next episode that I recorded was gonna be real. It was gonna be raw. It was gonna be more of me and the real parts of my relationship with the Lord. When I started the podcast, it's called Walk. You know, we walk together. Life is a walk. And I feel like in the past, I've just been making it about like the surface things. And I just don't want to do that anymore. I kind of want to branch into more of like, y'all feel me. You know, like I know there are a lot of things that I've gone through, am going through, that you guys can relate to as well. And I've always been a firm believer that everything we go through isn't about us, it isn't for us, it's for people. Like, we were made for community, we were made for each other. Like, nobody is supposed to be alone. I had a talk earlier with someone, and he said, he said that essentially there are a lot of things that we have that we hold on to that we need to share to help other people, and we don't. And before we started recording, I'm like, dang, like, you talking to me and you don't even know it. I'm thinking this, what? Like, you talking to me and you don't even know it. And I think that helped me to, like, be more honest and open in this episode. So thank you. I remember growing up being like 7, 8 years old, and my mom would have me and my brother in the living room on Saturdays and Sundays sometimes. And she would have us watch T.D. Jakes and Joel Osteen and Joyce Meyer and just these preachers and stuff. I hated it. I did not want to watch that, you know? Like, I did not want to watch that stuff. And she would make us watch it for like at least an hour, like watch their sermon. And it's just so crazy how when I got older and I started my relationship with the Lord, TD was one of the first ones that I went to because that's what I grew up knowing, you know? And he helped me a lot on my journey and my relationship with the Lord. And like I said about my mom, she never forced me to be a believer. She never forced anything on me, but she made sure that we had an awareness of God. One of the things that I loved about her is that she didn't just talk it, she walked it. And I think that's another reason why the podcast is called Walk, because I actually watched her walk out what it meant to be a Christian. You know, I saw her life do a complete 180. Like, she went from being a worldly woman, doing whatever she wanted, to truly giving her life to God, surrendering, being obedient day in and day out, picking up her cross. During that time of actually living in it, I did not understand it. And I was like, man, mama doing too much, bro. She always tripping. She always saying something. She always want me to pray. She always praying for me. She always this. She always that. Like, you know. And now that I'm older, I appreciate those things so much. Like, I not only appreciate it, I wish she was still here to do those things for me, but I truly do appreciate it. And I'm not gonna lie. If y'all got y'all mamas, please, 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 please cherish her. Appreciate her. It's a lot of things my mom taught me. Dang, what y'all doing? It's a lot of things. It's a lot going on in the background too. Y'all, they so ghetto up in here. But there's a lot of things that my mom taught me when I was young. Things that I didn't understand that now that I'm older, like, I get it, you know? Like, they always say, like, mama was right, mama knows best. And when you're young, when you think you know everything, a teenager, mama don't know what she talking about. Mama just da-da-da-da. But it's like, mama did know, you know? Like, it's so many days that I've wished that she was here that I could tell her, like, dang, mama, you was right. Or ask her questions about certain things that she tried to inform me on early on that I really wasn't trying to hear. But it's so much, like, so much that she gave me. Every Sunday that she could be there, she was at church. She was in the pews. She was praising the Lord. She was worshiping. She was doing all the things. She was going to the afternoon programs, like, in community. And every time we went somewhere, she was giving her testimony about how the Lord changed her life. Even that, I got so sick of hearing it. I got sick of mama. That's my testimony, and I'm going to tell it. The Lord gave me another chance, da-da-da-da-da. I got so sick of hearing that. But now that I'm older, I understand, like, that was truly a blessing. You know, when the Lord does something for you, like, you tell the world. You want everybody to know, you know, like, just like when we find new things, a new spot to eat at, a new song or whatever, we share it. We share the things that we enjoy. We share the things we appreciate. We share the things that we love. And for her, it was God, and it was her love for God. She loved the Lord, and she shared that. And if I'm honest, I wish that she was here so that I can share that with her. And even though she's not, I know that me continuing on my journey and my relationship, like, is enough, if that makes sense. Like, one of the things that I did know is that no matter what, my mom always wanted me to find the Lord for myself. She always wanted me to find the Lord for myself. Me and my brother. She always wanted us to find the Lord for myself. And the love and the grace that she gave me it's just crazy. Like, I remember when I was 12 and my mom gave me my first Bible, and she was like, I got something for you. I'm thinking it's, I'm a kid, I'm 12. I'm thinking it's something like I want to give. Like, okay. And she came to me with that Bible, and I was so mad. Like, girl, I don't want no Bible. Like, girl, I don't want no Bible. And it's it's crazy because I literally remember this day like yesterday. Like, we were standing in the living room, and she had wrote in it everything, and she was so happy to give it to me. And I tried so hard not to hurt her feelings because I did not want that Bible. And I held on to it though. Like, I didn't open that Bible until I was 16. Like I said, when I started my relationship with the Lord. And that was another thing that was like, it really is about you and your timing. Like, no one can force you to go to God. God doesn't even force us to come to him, From 12 to 16, that's a 4-year gap that I was just whatever until I decided, like, I actually want this for myself. And it's just wild to me because I feel like she always knew that I would choose God at some point, but she also knew that I had to go through life on my own for myself. I miss that lady. I'm not gonna lie, I really miss her. After my mom died, God was all I had. And he made me realize that that was all I needed. And when I say that, I mean in my soul, in my core. Like, I didn't need the things of this world. I didn't need the typical substances or to pick up my sins or to choose my flesh. What I needed was him. Even before she died, when I really started to like really get into learn more about God. But after she died is when I really, really like went all in for real. Like, I gave my life, before I think I was here and there with it. But after she died, I really went all in. Like, I wanted to experience the God that my mom experienced when she was alive. Like, she loved me and my brother, but she loved God so much. Like, I never seen someone so God, 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 but really mean it. And she always would try to tell me about the way to live, the way that God wanted us to live and how we were supposed to be and all of these things. And after she was gone, obviously all I had was memories. So I really sat and I would think about, how did mom handle this? How did she move like this? And I started to see a lot of the things that she did, the ways that she lived, the things that she said aligned with the word of God. And even in that, I felt like the Lord was comforting me. Like, yes, she's gone, but she's with the one that you know what I'm saying? Like, she's with the one that she knew, the one that you're trying to get to know. It's me. It's always been me. And I truly feel like the Lord sent and gave me the Holy Spirit as a comforter, because he's been very comforting to me as a comforter, like the word says that he would be. Although human emotions are real, they aren't everything. And that was one of the things that the Lord got me to see with the loss of her. Like, what you feel is real. Don't ignore your feelings. Acknowledge your feelings, but don't allow your feelings to take over you. Don't allow your feelings to lead you and guide you. Like, don't lean on that. Lean on me, regardless of what it is. And losing her really made me see that, like, I can't choose my feelings. I have to choose what I believe. I have to choose what the word of God says. I have to choose you. And I used to always think, at one point, I thought, like, this is the worst thing that could have happened. Like, I'm human. I would have my days, like, why, God? Like, why did you take her? Why, just why, And on those days, the Lord provided me so much comfort. For one, before she was my mother, she was his child. Before he formed her in her mother's womb, he knew her, And although she had a life without me, I never had a life without her, but I'll always have a life with him. And that alone was just like very comforting. I said that in 2 seconds, but it took me some years to actually get that down. You know what I'm saying? Losing that physical parent made me lean into my spiritual parent, which is my Heavenly Father. And in a sense, I kind of feel like my mom was always trying to set me up for that very thing. When I'm gone, I don't want you to just trust in yourself. I want you to trust in him. I want you to trust in the one that I believe, the one that I serve, whenever you decide to make him that for you. I loved, and I feel like I've said this already in different ways, but I loved how she knew how to separate, but still love. Like she knew how to draw. The Lord knew how to use her to draw, but not force. You know, she was a very gentle soul. She was so sweet, genuine. And after she gave her life, like she just changed so much. Like she just became an even more beautiful person. You know, like it's something about, you know, there are Christian people, there are good people and good people. You know, there are people of the world that are, you know, considered good people. Like I'm a good person, I'm a morally good person, but it's something about being a good person and like, I'm trying to get it together. Before she gave her life to the Lord, she would have been considered a good person by the world. But after she gave her life to the Lord, it was like, you a good person and you're a believer? Like, wow, you know what I'm saying? And you're my mom? Like, wow, you know, it's like, that's work that only God can do. She was truly proof that God was real. And as I got older, I started to see through her and through other things that happened in my life, like, God, you have always been here. So when God decided to choose me, because God chooses us, we don't choose him, God chooses us, and we decide if we choose him or not. But when God chose me and he started to show me things that didn't happen through my life, I'm like, you've truly always been here. You know, like I can't deny your existence. You've always been here. You've always been in my life. You've always showed up. You've always given me love. You've always cared for me. You truly did know me before you formed me in my mother's womb, you know? And I had to learn. And sometimes I still have to remind myself, like, yes, you lost the one that brought you to this earth, but you have the one who created the earth to begin with. And wrapping my head around that is just like, at first I didn't think they were comparable. It's like, yeah, God, I know you real and I know you here, but I've never actually seen you. I haven't experienced you. I've experienced her. And when I was at that point, and when I get to that point, that's when I really have to like truly, truly lean into God and realize like, where am I actually lacking? What am I not, what am I missing? What am I focusing on more than you? You know what I'm saying? Like at that point, I think I began to realize like, back to what I was saying earlier about the feelings, like I'm allowing my feelings to lead me and not the truths, not the things that you've shown me. Because even though I lost that, I've gained so much more. In my relationship with the Lord, the lack of that physical parent has always been a bit challenging for me, because I feel like anyone who has a mother, it's like a mother is a nurturer. Your mother is a comforter. And the whole message, the whole belief of Christianity, being a Christian in general, it's a faith message, you know, because we can't see God. And that alone is just challenging, you know? So it's like the one that I did have as a parent, you took, she's no longer here. And now I have you, and it's like, it's just hard sometimes. I said all that to say that sometimes it's just hard. I'm gonna switch the topic. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Before I started this, before I actually recorded, like I had so much stuff, and I get on camera and it all just leave my mind. I don't know what be going on. But one of the things that I realized since in the time that I've been away is that you really do need people. You really need community. That is very, very important. I was watching a podcast one time, and they were saying how the enemy really does play with you when you're by yourself, plays with your mind. And I was like, dang, that's true. And he does. That was another takeaway from my mom. She stayed in community. She was always around people. She was always in the church. She was always involved. She knew the importance of that. I personally did not like that. I did not like being around the people and going to church and all of that. I wasn't a fan. But I saw the importance of it and how it actually made her a better person. I see how it makes me a better person. When you are around people who uplift you and encourage you, it makes all of the difference. You guys can praise the Lord together. You can share in sorrows and happiness and all of the things. Like we just need people.
Also, there's this guy one time. He's a Christian entrepreneur too. He's a really Christian, and he had one time he told me something. I live for an audience of one.
Hmm.
So his only audience is not all these people that are gonna see the video. His
Yeah.
only audience is God. He's
Yeah.
doing it for God.
Amen.
So as long as God likes what he's doing, he doesn't
He
really care.
doesn't care. Yeah. And that's what I was saying when I started the podcast. I started it for the Lord. Like, I didn't start it for me or the fame. That's why I told you, like, I don't care about the likes. I don't care about the views. I've always felt like if it reaches the person that God intended it for, that's all that matters to me, you know? And I think that's a thing that I can't lose, you know? Like, he's him, like, my audience is one, because that's true. The audience is one. And I think that's, for me, it's like fighting those two like understandings, like knowing that my audience is God, but also knowing that these people are watching, and it's like I have to focus on Him. You know, you have to focus on God. You have to focus on the reason that you started it to begin with. Well, I have to focus on the reason that I started to begin with. But yeah, in my time away, I ain't gonna lie, I've been learning so much about myself, so much about life, so much about God, things that I did not know that I even needed to know, that I didn't know. He's been answering a lot of my prayers, the ones that I didn't think was that important or that he was listening to. And for me, it's always like that. Like, you could ask God, I'll ask God for something, or I'll pray about something, nothing. I ask for something small, and it's like immediate. I'll be like, like, what? But I think, I think with that, something that he taught me is, you don't choose what I answer. I choose what I answer, you know? And sometimes I feel like it's little reminders of like, you are listening to me, you know? I think very often, I've had a conversation with conversations with some of my friends recently about feeling like God isn't listening to them. And I told them, like, God is always listening. And it's so crazy how you can give encouraging words to people when you need that for yourself, you know? And the Lord just keeps showing me, like, I am listening to you. I hear you. I'm with you. Like, my word says the word says He will never leave nor forsake you, and that's very true. I also realized that on this journey, in this life, there are a lot of things that are still to come, a lot of things that I still have to learn. I'm not where I need to be. I'm not where I'm supposed to be, but I will get there. I'm not perfect. I'm not, how do I say? I'm a human. A big struggle for me used to be recognizing my humanity. Like, when sorry, for me, it was like extremes. It was like all or nothing, if that makes sense. It's like I'm either all spiritual or all worldly, and it's like there's no in between. I'm not by any means condoning sin or anything like that, but there are things that come with being a human, like feeling emotions and getting upset, and you know what I'm saying, like feeling sad or feeling happy, or like being like all of the human, just normal human things, you know. And for me, for a while, it was like a battle of understanding like my human nature, but also the living God living inside of me being His creation. Like, it was just hard for me. And in my time away, I feel like as of recently, these past like 10, 11 months, the Lord has really been showing me that I am God, you are my daughter, I'm working on you, and you will get there, if that makes sense. Like, and also to stop being so hard on myself. I'm very, very hard on myself. I've always been so hard on myself. And I remember one of my friends, she told me, she was like, I think you harder on yourself than God is. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, like, I think you really do need to give yourself some grace. Like, you need to give yourself the grace that the Lord gives you, you know? That doesn't mean like give up. That doesn't mean be okay with things that you know you shouldn't be okay with, but you are a work in progress, and that is okay. You know, she was like, how many people in the Bible are perfect? I was like, none. And she was like, exactly. And that was very helpful. And I feel like over these past 10, 11 months, the Lord has really been like showing me that, like, give yourself some grace, show yourself some love. And I appreciate that. Back to my mom piece, that's one of the things that I really miss about her. She would not allow me to go to bed without saying, I love you. You know, there is nothing like a I love you from your mother, from somebody that you truly care about. You know what I'm saying? Like that nurturing, that hug, that warmth, you know, like, I'm not gonna lie, when I was young, I used to try to act like I was too cool and so hard, like, man, mama, leave me alone, I don't want that, da, 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 da. And it's like now, like, I just wish that I could get a hug from her. You know, I miss that so much. She started that when I was about 13. I think she started that when I was 13 up until 17. She would always give me a hug and a kiss and tell me good night. And always pray for me. She prayed for me every single night, every night. When I was saying like the battle and the complication for me, like understanding like my human emotions and like that, I felt like I could not feel those human emotions. I felt like I didn't need to cry. I didn't need to be like, I felt like nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like only certain things were okay for me, and that was something that the Lord had to bring me out of and show me like you're a human. You know what I'm saying? Like he is the only perfect being, you know, and I never compared myself to God. I never thought that I was God. But at one point, I had this wrong idea of what it was to be a Christian, you know, like seeing a lot of Christians portray perfection. It made me feel like that's what I needed to be like at one point in my life. And that's another reason why I'm glad the Lord gave me a front row seat to what it was to be a real Christian, my mom, because she never claimed to be perfect. You know, she, like I said earlier, she acknowledged her flaws, she acknowledged her humanity, but also that the Lord was still the head of her life. You know what I'm saying? That was who she served. And I've always thought it was beautiful. I still think it's very beautiful that the Lord continues to use her and the things from her to show me things in this present day, things that happened so long, like not so long ago, but like years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like sometime, random times, he'll bring something, a thought or a memory back to my mind of an event that happened. He'll bring it back to my mind, or he'll use it as a lesson or something. And it's just always like, wow, you actually are always listening to me and looking out for me. You know, on days that I feel discouraged, and I feel down about her, a good memory always pops in my head. I always see that smile. I always see something. And to me, it feels like the Lord is sharing this with me. I'm not alone. Because I feel like when it first happened, I felt so alone. My mom first died, I felt like I nobody on this earth could ever understand. Like it was just me. Like it was hard. You know what I'm saying? That human aspect of it, like it was really hard. That was tough. And the more that I prayed, the more that I leaned into the Lord, it was like comforting, like peace that surpassed all understanding. It was very, very comforting, very warm. It was like, although this doesn't go away, I'm here with you, you know? I heard someone say one time, like, us going to the Lord is always for selfish reasons. We always go to God for ourselves because we're selfish. And I realized actually as of recently, I was like, dang God, I really did. It really was selfish. And even in that, you still show me selfless love. You still man, man, you still gave me yourself. You still remained who you were. Man. Um, I should have picked something else to talk about. As of recently, it's been a lot of my friends and stuff who've been like losing their parents. Not gonna lie. One of my friends, she lost her mom a couple years back, and I thank God that I was able to actually be there for her and show up. That helped me to see and believe more of the truth that I hold dear to my heart, that we what we go through isn't just for us, it's for us to help other people. And that when she lost her mom, I was able to show up and be there for her. It was tough, I'm not gonna lie. It was tough, but I just thank God for the opportunity to be there to help someone and comfort them. But to anybody that's lost a parent or somebody close to them, I know you probably feel like nobody understands, but God understands. I think in our grief, in our sadness, in our emotions, in feeling lost and all of the things, it's so important to lean on the Lord. There are so many things in this world that we could turn to, so many things we can do, but those things are only temporary. They don't fulfill you, they don't sustain you, and you have to keep going back. lean in and trust on the Lord. That's what I had to do. I went through my period of choosing bad things, the wrong things to help me cope. I'm not gonna lie, I did. And I got tired of it. I got tired of, like I just said, having to go back. I got tired of not being fulfilled, and I got tired of feeling empty. I got tired of being stuck, if you will. I got tired of that. That was another area that the Lord showed me a lot of grace in. The Lord allowed me to experience the things that I thought I wanted to show me that that's not what I wanted or what I needed. And if you're there, I really do want to encourage you and let you know, like, the Lord sees you, He cares for you, He loves you, and choose Him. And a lot of times when you in that, when you've lost a person and it feels like your whole world is over, the world is ended, nothing matters, it's hard to even think about God sometimes, if I'm being honest. But just know that the Lord is there, right there with you, watching after you, loving you, caring for you. Just turn to Him, seek Him, and He'll be there. Like I said earlier, I'm not even going to say that whole, oh, we going to be dropping soon. I'm not doing that. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. As always, hit that like, subscribe button. We walking this thing out together. Until next time, whenever that is.